The Constitution of India, Preamble. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution.
Hi students, any guesses where I am sitting? Yes, I am sitting in 6th E. Actually, I am occupying your seats and you are watching me. Usually the reverse happens, isn't it? You all will be sitting here watching me take classes, right? Well, we all have learned to adapt to the situations which exist, isn't it? Change is very vital. By now, we have learned how to cope up with the new demanding situations, isn't it? Children, do you all want to come and sit here? Play around the corridors? Watch me take class live? We will definitely pray for that. Hope that situation comes very soon. Now, we were talking about changes in our last class. Do you remember the change we discussed in our last video session? Children, last week we were discussing about physical change. What is a physical change? Yes, we analyzed what is physical change with the help of 4 questions. What were the questions? Is there a change of state? Is there a change of shape? Is there a change of size? And is a new product formed because of this change? These were the 4 questions. Based on that, we were able to study that physical change is a change where no new substance is formed and there might be change of state, change of shape or size. We saw many examples also like breaking of an egg, isn't it? Then crumpling of paper. Then what else did we see? Do you remember? Yes, tearing of paper, breaking a glass, isn't it? Melting solid ghee, heating lamp. These were some of the examples we discussed for physical change. I hope you remember all that, and some of you are very responsible and wrote the assignment and posted to me immediately. As a teacher, I would like all my students to understand the concept and write the assignment and post it to me. Okay? Hope others also will do that. Now, we are going to study second type of change. What is that change? It is called chemical change or permanent change. Chemical change, or it is also called as permanent change. Now, we will see some examples for that. Have you seen sugar being caramelized? What is the meaning of caramelizing? Yes, you can see it. This is caramelized sugar. We usually use it for puddings, cakes, isn't it? That is beautiful brown colored sugar syrup, isn't it? We call it as caramelized sugar. Yes. How does it taste? Little bitter, isn't it? Now, if you heat this caramelized sugar further, what happens? The sugar gets charred. What is the meaning of charred? Charred means burnt. Have you ever tasted burnt sugar? It's very bitter. Okay? So, these are the changes which happens to sugar when it is heated. So, what are these changes? First, sugar gets caramelized. Then, when heated further, this caramelized sugar is completely charred, isn't it? Now, shall we take wax? Yes, you have seen wax candles. What happens when wax candle melts? Yes, when wax melts, it changes into liquid form of wax. Now, there's a tabular column in your textbook. We are going to analyze both these changes. What are these two changes? The changes that happen to sugar and the changes that is happening to wax. Okay, shall we move to the tabular column? In the tabular column, the first column shows when wax is heated, and the second tabular column is when sugar is heated. Okay? When wax is heated, it absorbs heat. When sugar is heated, yes, it also absorbs heat. When wax is heated, it melts. Sugar also melts. When wax is heated, on the second column it's given changes color. Does wax change color? No color change. Okay? Now coming to the last observation, no new substance is formed when wax is heated. Whereas in sugar, a black residue is formed. Charred, burnt sugar is formed. So what you will write there? A black residue. So what are the changes we observed here? 1. New substance is formed. This is the first change which is happening to sugar, isn't it? Whereas for wax, no new substance is formed. Solid wax is melting to liquid wax. Okay, that's the only change. And that change is a change of state, which we discussed in physical change. Whereas in sugar, a new substance is formed. Then what is the other change? Permanent change is also occurring there. What is permanent change? Once the sugar changes into charred, burnt substance, can you bring it back to the original substance? Can you bring it back to the white crystal sugar? White crystalline sugar? No, it is not possible. So a permanent change is happening there, isn't it? So when sugar is heated, permanent change is happening. So what are the two observations we saw? First is new substance is formed, and the second observation was there is a permanent change. We cannot bring back the substance to its original form, isn't it? So we can define what is chemical change now very easily. Chemical change is a change that happens to a substance when new products are formed or when a new substance is formed, and that change is a permanent change. Okay, this is called chemical change. We have furthermore examples in your textbook, like burning a magnesium ribbon. What happens when you burn a magnesium ribbon? Have you seen a magnesium ribbon? Yes, this is magnesium ribbon. Okay, so what happens when you burn a magnesium ribbon? It completely turns into ashes, white color ash. Okay, so you cannot bring it back to original ribbon form. So a permanent change is there and new substance is formed. So burning of magnesium ribbon is a chemical change. And the second example is burning a piece of paper. Have you ever seen burning papers? Yes, what happens when the paper is completely burnt? What can you see? Yes, black ash is formed, isn't it? Black residue is gone. So, can you bring back the black residue to its original paper form? No, it is not possible. So, a permanent change is happening there. So, these two are the examples which is given in your textbook. What are they? Burning of magnesium ribbon and burning a piece of paper. Okay? In your textbook, some more examples are mentioned. We will see one by one. Like rice being cooked. What happens there? Raw rice is being cooked. What happens? It changes into cooked form of rice. So what type of change is that? It is a chemical change. Now second example is film. X-ray film, have you seen? what happens to the X-ray film before taking X-ray and after taking X-ray? There will be a lot of changes. So, X-ray film is the second example which is given in your book. Okay. Now, the third example is clothes. What happens when we wash clothes and put it under the sunlight for a long period of time? After a long period of time, the color of the clothes fade away. So that is also a chemical change. What is happening? The color is slowly fading away, reacting with the sunlight, and it is fading away. So which is a permanent change. So that is also a chemical change. The next example is iron rod rusting. This we see in our house, isn't it? After some time, what happens to the front gate in your house? It gets rusted. So we will call somebody, clean completely the gate and then with sandpaper and then repaint it, isn't it? So the rusting of iron, that is also a chemical change. The next example is mangoes. Do you like mangoes? Yes, everybody loves mangoes, isn't it? Mangoes, how do they look before and after ripening? What happens? Before ripening, it is green in color. After ripening, it turns into a wonderful yellowish orange color, isn't it? So the ripening of mangoes also, it is a chemical change. Permanent changes are happening to all these situations, and these are some more examples for chemical change. Now in your textbook, a picture is given. Shall we have a look into that picture? Yes, you can see the picture. See this? You can see some trees, sunlight. Now what is the process going on here? Yes, you know that. It is photosynthesis. Yes, is photosynthesis a physical change or chemical change? Yes, it is a chemical change. Why? Because sunlight, carbon dioxide, water and the chlorophyll in the leaves are reacting together and they are changing into chemical energy which is stored in fruits and vegetables. So photosynthesis is also a chemical change. One more picture is given in your textbook. We will have a look into that also. Yes, can you name the processes after seeing this picture? What all processes are undergoing here in this picture? Can you say? Yes, we can easily identify. What are they? Evaporation and condensation. Yes, evaporation and condensation, are they physical changes or chemical changes? Yes, there is only a change in state. So it is a physical change. So evaporation, condensation, melting, all these are physical changes. Now I am going to ask you a question. In your house, or rather in your kitchen, what are the chemical changes that are happening in everyday life? You have to list that and write it in your file as assignment. Okay? So this will be your first assignment. Okay? Everything you have to write down and you have to post it to me. I will correct it. Okay? Now, slowly shall we move to let us assess. The first question is, the blister caused by steam is more severe than the same caused by boiling water at the same temperature. I have already discussed this, isn't it? Blister means burns or boils caused by steam and boiling water. Which is severe? Yes, this blister caused by steam is much more severe. Why? Because steam has a maximum amount of heat energy. So the blister caused by steam is much more severe when compared to the blister caused by boiling water, isn't it? So we have given a statement and I have given a justification also. Write this question in your file and answer in your own words. Okay? What is the second question? We know that heat is emitted along with light when bulb glows. LED lamps are better than filament lamps for maximum reduction in the consumption of electrical energy. Yes, how will you answer this? LED lamps are much more helpful in the conservation of energy rather than filament bulbs. Why? Because filament bulbs, when you switch on the bulbs, what are the two forms of energy that are given out? Heat and light energy. So after some time when you touch the surface of the filament bulb, bulbs, we can experience severe heat or temperature, isn't it? So with the same is not there when you use a LED bulb. Okay, heat energy is produced less over there in LED bulbs. So LED bulbs are preferred over filament bulbs because there is a lot of wastage of energy in the form of heat energy. Okay. Now, in which situation, the second question is, in which situation is filament bulbs useful? Can you identify? Can you remember any situation like that? Yes, for the incubation of small chickens, tiny chickens. They need warmth, isn't it? So we put them in a carton box and keep a filament bulb over there. Why? Because the heat from the filament bulb will keep these small chicks protected. Okay? So filament bulbs are usually used for incubation purposes. Okay? So children, shall we move to the third question which is given in your textbook? It's a tabular column where two children, Rahim and Deepa, are discussing about the thunder and lightning which occurs due to heavy storm and rain. Shall we see to the tabular column? Yes, as you can see, they are having a game between themselves. They are talking about the energy produced and the change that is happening. Okay? Energy produced or released and the change that is happening. So Deepa, when it rains, Rahim says that cloud releases heat energy. And Rahim says the cloud is formed. So what will be the change? When water absorbs heat energy, the cloud is formed. Sound energy is produced, due to which thunder strikes. And when is the light energy released? When lightning occurs, light energy is released. After that, Deepa says electrical energy is produced. So heat is also produced there. So this is a game between Rahim and Deepa. So copy all these assignments in your file. Okay, this is let us assess. It has to be copied in your file and write it in your own words also. So children, heavy downpour is going on there. Don't forget to drink water because it will always keep your body temperature balanced. Okay, so see you with a new chapter in the next video session. Bye.